There we go. We're good.
Hey, it's Enrico Palazzo!
Utah, give me 2.
Palazzo!
Hey. Welcome to Monday night. We have had Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We've had 4 days of baseball. Thursday was only one game, but we've had 4 days, or Wednesday. Wednesday was only one game.
When is this day?
Yeah, Wednesday. Today will be our 5th full day of baseball. We are here. Actionable data. Welcome, everybody. My name is Sam Wirsching. You can find me on Blue Sky at SamFBB1 and on Twitter at Fave Game Show Host. I am here with my man to this side of me. This is the one, the only, the legendary Robbie Baseball. Let's go.
Whoa, sound effects.
That's right. I have sound effects, baby. I'm ready to go sometimes.
Sometimes when you're not getting ready to do a nap or to have a big nap.
That's right. I work all the time, 60% of the time. So it's a thing that works for me. Say hi to the people.
Hi to the people. I can hear my air dehumidifier just ripping. So if all of a sudden there's flames that start shooting over, I'm going to have to deal with that. But until then, we're just going to let it go.
We're just going to ride the lightning in the basement. I love
100%. Yeah. Or if I disappear, that means that a fuse popped and I'll be back.
Fair enough. You know, we're at that time I was talking before we went on screen, before we went live, that during the season, I have a friend named Ken who every time somebody on my roster gets injured or something happens to him, he'll send me a text. And so like 5-10 minutes ago, I look at my phone and I'm like, why is Ken texting me about Cody Ponce? What happened to Cody Ponce? And Robbie and I watched, and Cody Ponce's knee is not supposed to move in that direction. That is really, he was having a good start to the year, had a great spring training.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be happening everywhere. We are going to be getting these random texts, these random notifications. Things are happening. We are here to bring you the good stuff tonight. This is meant to be about what have we seen, what's fun, what's caught our attention. So I'm going to hand it over to the brains of the podcast. Robbie, why don't you talk to us and let us know what's going on?
As far as our news goes from the opening weekend at AAA?
Yeah, you are the news guy. You look like Walter Cronkite would have when he was like in his 30s.
That's like a Canadian. Oh my goodness, he's from Stratford. I'm blanking. Peter Mansbridge, Canadian Peter Mansbridge. There you go.
That's the translation. That's the Canadian equivalent.
Yes. So yeah, AAA open this weekend. Now we're gonna give more time before we really dive into some hitter stats, some pitcher stats. But a hot weekend is worthy of mention. And I'm gonna start from the bottom. I'm gonna Drake this one. Start from the bottom and work my way up the top of this news and notes list because it's one of my boys. It's Spencer Spaghetti or Arigati. Who Houston was like, you know what? Let's just suppress this for a little bit. You go down to AAA, and we're going to let our other boys go. A rookie that we will mention as well when we get to Houston, who is there in place of Arigati, and he had 4 innings pitched, only gave up a hit, 2 walks, 4 Ks. We're happy with that, everybody. The Yankees, Brendan Beck had a 5-inning outing, 1 hit, no walks, 9 Ks. That is of note. Robert Gasser throwing it. In AAA, Milwaukee lefty prospect, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 11 tickets punched. As Michael Lorenzen once said of Reese Olson, he's going to punch a lot of tickets in the bigs. And Gasser punched 11 with only 3 walks over the weekend. James Tibbs the third had himself a good weekend. 1B outfield eligible, depending on your format here. But this is going to probably sustain all year. A 615 average with a 643 OBP. Or sorry, no, yeah, 6 and a 1462 OPS. 2 home runs.
Slug.
Oh, sorry, that was a slug. Sorry.
He's got a 2 OPS. His OPS is 2.1.
Like, yeah, he's barely over 2,000. So I think there's room to grow there for Tibbs, and that's in 3 games. So excellent opening weekend, as has Charlie Condon. Which we figured would happen. The Rockies prospect is going to play out a weird game with all the Rockies that are in the bigs, which we'll talk about shortly because a lot of them are rookie eligible. He had a 500 weekend with 2 home runs in his 3 games. I almost skipped over Alan Rodon of Minnesota, a former Who Is That Guy Blue Jay prospect who then was moved out, and Rodon with Minnesota. there will be playing time for anyone within the Minnesota system, AA or above, at some point over the next 18 months within the major league. So if Rodon is able, not, realistically going to have a 4.44 average, 7 walks, which is by far the most impressive of the stats, probably of the entire weekend for me. That one guy could do that in 3 games of AAA, showing discipline instead of the I want to swing hands. And then finally, Sam Antonici.
Can't have enough Sam in your life.
Yeah, I was going to say the name had one guy here. And he had 2 ding-a-dongs. He's a utility guy for the White Sox system, 333 average, 500 OBP in the 3 games. That is exciting stuff. And I was looking earlier today as I was finishing up our prep for the show today, Sam, and I was trying to find players that were kind of interesting, not necessarily the most exciting prospects that are on these teams, but guys that are up as rookies, and why, to some extent, why they're there and others aren't. And I praised how the Angels had done things this offseason. And when we get down to them, I am going to have to take some of that praise back based on one of the pitchers in their rotation. Now, it's allegedly due to injury, but when we get there, we will discuss it. So was there anyone that stood out to you, Sam, over the weekend? I know you are you're close to, did you say it was A-ball that you don't get, and they haven't started up yet?
Yeah, I'm a sponsor of, and I get to go to high A games with the Everett Aqua Sox most of the year. So we're waiting for those games to start. I was pretty excited for Colt Emerson. You talked earlier about the walks being one of those really important things that you saw as we were going over some of the batters that went to AAA. And I think that it's really tough for some of those players that think that they should have been in the majors, and they might push too hard when they go down. And so you like to see them taking the game coming to them. I thought I saw that this weekend with Colt Emerson with the Mariners. I'm pretty excited about him. He's just been hitting the ball incredibly hard. He's been lining out to people and flying out to people, but most all of his contact has been hard hits, and he's hit a home run. He's gotten a double. He's not pushing. He's just letting the game come to him. And so I'm excited for this crop that you talked about, especially Spencer Arrighetti. I was surprised that Houston let him go down to Sugarland, and I think he's going to be a lot of fun when he comes back up with the Major League Club. I don't think they're going to be able to keep him down. There's no way that there's not going to be an injury or a spot.
Yeah, it was 7 starts last year, and he wasn't good. And then it came out, of course, the injury that ended the season. And then there was backpedaling that I remember seeing from some of the Houston media, because they were saying that, well, did he come out of spring training hurt, and why would they let him, pitch, or did he get hurt at some point, or what was going on? And one of those, like, why didn't we protect our boys? Which is talk I've heard about Detroit with Reese Olson, which I don't think was valid. He just seems to get hurt a lot, whereas Arrighetti was an injury that they may or may not think did happen a while ago, like within spring training, but they kind of let him go through it. I do have a correction on Rodon. It looks like it's officially 6 walks that he's got, 2 strikeouts. Brian De La Cruz leading all of minor league baseball with 7 walks. And then other guys that I did, Ben had put our notes together, and he will be joining us at some point tonight. But a couple other pitchers of note here. Chase Petty with Cincinnati, who a lot of us were really excited about before he debuted. And if you're a dynasty guy who's got multiple shares like myself, you just do this, cross your fingers if you're watching on the YouTubes, and you hope for good stat lines from Chase Petty, because you'd love for Cincinnati to honor him with another opportunity at some point when they might have a decent 2 to 3 series cushion. Cushion's not the right word, but just a good position for him to be in, because he should be good. He should be better than he is. Anyway, he had 8 punch outs and 4 2/3 in his debut. And what was the other one I saw that was interesting here? Mitchell Parker, who we liked a little while ago within the national system. I don't think he's rookie eligible anymore, but he's one of those guys the Nats didn't give a spot to. He had 6 Ks over 5. Tanner McDougal, there you go. There's one. 4 innings pitched. He had 8 Ks. Gave up, I think, math in me is going to be a run or so in his start. And then everybody was wondering, I know the chat's going to just explode here, who's leading minor league baseball in saves. There were a lot. There were a lot this weekend. Yeah, 17 guys had a save, so we're going to save that conversation for another day. Sorry, everybody. That's just tantalized by the thought of a saves leader. But yeah, so hot bats otherwise, and then we'll have to dive into the real meat of the episode, and then Ben can just, forever be upset about it. I guess we can go with, stolen bases, Max Clark, everybody. He has arrived. He's got his first 2 hits. Also Foster Griffin. Oh my goodness. Peter Griffin of Pittsburgh. He got his first hit. And MILB.com, if you follow their Instagram, they were all over these guys trying to get like little, 3-4 clip videos of the players who are debuting that are highly touted prospects and what they did. So Max Clark, they had a whole like walkout thing for him, and it was pretty good. Jet Williams, 3 stolen bases as well. I don't know if anybody cares about the rest of this, but Juan Brito, 4 doubles. I'm interested in that. Sam, do you have dynasty shares of this young feller?
I do not have Juan Brito anywhere. I've
got one share of him, and that's it.
Hold on real quick. My boss is here getting stuff.
Oh no.
The one that's filled, you can just throw it in the one that's not filled. There you go. That's life advice. Take things out of the full thing, put them in the empty thing.
Boom, nailed it.
That's how we make life happen here.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. Mickey Gasper, who we talked about on one of our last pods, Sam, who I said could potentially be of some use to the Red Sox this year. 417 over the weekend. That's fun and exciting. So, yeah, we got Mike VA joining. Good evening, Mike. How about that Kobe Mayo? He had at bats, and they weren't all terrible. So I don't know if you watched any of it over the weekend, but who were some guys? I guess you were obviously watching your Mariners. You were quite excited for them. It was fun watching Toronto highlights. I didn't really get into watching the games as I had a pretty busy work weekend, Sam, but was there any other ball you took in?
I did not get to watch any minor league ball this weekend. I was completely focused in on as much major league content as I could get in. I've been waiting for this weekend for months. You come out of September and the regular season is done, and then we had a phenomenal postseason to watch. Every game was important. We made a deep run, and once that baseball stops, once you stop getting regular new content, like, I don't know what it's like for you in the off season, but I just was super anxious and antsy to get it on. And so like, I want to see the first 16 games that the Mariners have. Like, are they real? Like, are they coming out loose? Are they ready to do things? So it was fun to watch that.
Well, what's the rotation going to be after? As Mike VA is asking, is Luke Raley for real, Sam? Obviously, the answer is yes. But what about Emerson Hancock?
So Luke Raley is absolutely for real, and he just needs an opportunity to play. He's ridiculously fast for as awkward and as lumbering as he is. He's got amazing power. Like, every time he hits a home run, you're just like, how did that swing generate a home run? But he does.
23 fantasy points right now for me in a league. 23.
Yeah. No, and he was that guy that, Cal Raleigh wasn't ready for the beginning of the season, and Julio Rodriguez hasn't been ready for the beginning of the season, and Josh Naylor, Randy Arozarena, like, nobody is, for their big names, their big four, nothing's happening. It's been Brandon Donovan, it's been Luke Raley, it's been Dominic Canzone, it's been Cole Young, my guy from the preseason that I was hyping up as a young guy. So yeah, Mike, I think that Luke Raley is for real. I don't know if he's ever going to get out of being a platoon player for the Mariners, but I think that if you're in a daily league, or you can promote hitters or demote hitters between Thursday and Friday games, I think he's absolutely rosterable, definitely in 15, if not 12 team leagues. And Emerson Hancock, like, I picked him up in a number of places a couple weeks ago because I knew he was going to be our 5th starter. I didn't think Bryce Miller was going to be coming back. I couldn't get him anywhere this weekend. TGFBI, Vlad Sedler, bid $91 and took him from me.
Wow, that's an investment early.
I didn't get him in the Earth League, and I thought I had a pretty aggressive bid there. A couple of my dynasty leagues where I hadn't picked him up already. The buzz, the hype is real. I want to see if this is a thing. As a Mariners fan, I want more than just one start at home to be the thing that determines if I think he's successful. It's one start against Cleveland, and we really don't know how Cleveland's offense is this year yet, but I don't think of them as a high strikeout club, and it wouldn't surprise me if Emerson Hancock made for really difficult decisions when Bryce Miller came back, who I believe is going to be pitching by May. And I think Bryce Miller whatever was bothering him last season, he figured out. And you saw that in the playoffs. I thought he was a different pitcher against Detroit and against Toronto than he was in the regular season. And so pitching, you never have enough pitching. So I'm super excited about Hancock. We can have 6 starters. I mean, shit. I don't want them to run that team like a fantasy squad. Like, if you really want to ride a 6-man rotation and everybody only gets 25 starts, like, boo-hoo. Let's keep everybody healthy, Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, play for October and make sure that you're able to start who you want to start when that comes around. And Hancock, for me, I included him in a deal in a dynasty league where I was honestly not thinking much of him because I didn't know where he was going to slot in. And I regretted that. Brandon Williamson also went in a deal for me as somewhat of a nobody because he was not roster fodder, but he was on a 40-man keeper. He was a guy who I just didn't want to. And then now I'm looking back, Leo Rivas was another guy. They're all getting time. Now I know it's not the full season. Of course, we're weekend in, but it's one of those for a dynasty where you're like, oh, I wanted that depth and I didn't think they were going to be it. And now you're seeing it right away. And it's one of those, I was so excited to ditch that guy and look for the prospect that the PD Halpin, who I thought might be able to do something. Even Braxton Fulford to have a crappy backup catcher. And then he didn't make the club with the Rockies. And then all of a sudden he is up because Mickey Moniak is hurt. All the fun of that first, rush of days here. So,
yeah. Well, and I think that's a problem that we have with our perspective when we do dynasty and we do prospects, that Emerson Hancock was a highly regarded college pitcher who came into a highly regarded organization and really struggled. He really had a difficult time. And so when he came up last year and was scuffling, nobody was really surprised. We had kind of the shine of Emerson Hancock had faded. And I think it's important to remember that he has pedigree. Right. We're not talking about some, this isn't
Braves prospect. This is an actual prospect.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, seriously. No. But I think that there's real chance for Hancock to be dangerous this year. Speaking of Braves and wow, dude, it's the
dangerous
only Chase.
Great job.
Yeah, there you are. We've been waiting for you. The people have been waiting for you. Say hi to the people.
Hello, people.
There we go. Love that.
Well, we delayed as long as we could, Ben. So there we go. We can pop right off in as I was just starting to tip my hat into NL West.
You told everyone to pick up James Tibbs, right?
I don't think we needed to tell him. We did let him know about the stat line, but and then we went through a few more guys.
The other ones are interesting to me. James Tibbs ends up, I think he might take Ryan Noda's spot into that role in the
if it was to
the
continue?
Dodgers organization. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
AAA first base outfield.
Yeah.
Mashes the crap out of AAA that never gets a chance. That sort of a guy.
That's the fear here. Well, let's talk about an organization as we are going through the prospects. If Ben does not choke right now,
I can't give you the Heimlich maneuver from this far away.
We're talking about rookies in the bigs. As we have the note here, 20 of the top 100 MLB pipeline players were on rosters opening weekend more than the previous 15 years. And we're going to start out with one of the classiest organizations in all of Major League Baseball, the Colorado Rockies. Catcher Brett Sullivan and catcher Braxton Fulford are going to share backup duties as well as some DH time, because when your center fielder
Did we
goes
just lose
down.
Robbie?
Oh no, did you? I didn't lose me. I have. No,
Could have been me.
Let's say I've got Robbie just fine.
Okay,
Okay,
Mickey.
it's me.
When your center fielder gets hurt, obviously you bring up a catcher, and that's what Colorado did. Moniak out, Fulford in. Kyle Karros, I understand, not a rookie, but he is their starting third baseman. We did have some talk about that as to what was going to happen with Willie Castro. 2 stolen bases for him, and when Cody Ponce went down, you know who got the run tonight? Kyle Karros just came running on in because he's playing ball. So TJ Rumsfeld, part of the first base DH platoon with Troy Johnston, they're up. I think Rumsfeld must have done something because Govier did a thing with the stuff on the interwebs about it. But I just get lost in his beard every time, so I don't know what he's saying.
So
yeah, Sam, your beard is, I would call it established. Govier's is what I would call the Jim Carrey character from Dumb and Dumber 2. That is what I think of when I see that. The other fantasy rookie is Zach Agnos with Colorado. He's in the pen. And this was the guy who led minor leagues 2 years ago, I think it was, in saves. And then last year when he came up, everyone was like, watch out, people. And it didn't come together, but he's still technically a rookie, so we're discussing it now. Zach Veen did go on the IL, which because of that, I'm assuming that's minor league IL, but the note that I had wasn't. So I don't quite know how
he's
that
on
works.
the 40. He's
Okay,
on the
so
40,
that's why
so he has to go on Major League IL.
There we go. Thank you.
Yep. It's just one of those fun procedural stupidities. So
Yeah. So do you guys want to alternate here and then just rhyme off the names? If anybody's got a note, we'll give it. Otherwise, we'll keep moving.
sure.
I mean, who wants the Diamondbacks, really? Because I don't.
I mean, in all seriousness, it's Lawler that you're interested in seeing, and then a whole lot of bench and middle relief filler. That's pretty much what it is. Tim Tawa, Jorge Barrosa, Andrew Hoffman, and Juan Mario.
There you go.
And
Hoffman and
I
Mario
really
are
have-
arms in the pen.
I have zero desire to have any shares of Tim Tawa because I honestly believe the way that they set this up, if anything happens with Ketel Marte, Tommy Troy is coming up.
Okay.
I would love.
He went down early and it wasn't for performance. And that, to me, usually when they do that, it's like, okay, we need you getting consistent at bats, not sitting here waiting to get the 1 or 2 at bats every day. That'll start happening as spring training goes on. We want you to get 4 or 5 at bats a day right now. And so go down to AAA and get your at bats so that you're ready just in case. And so that's one of those little things to watch at the end of spring training that folks are like, oh my gosh, they sent down so-and-so. They don't believe in him. Yeah, no, they actually do. They want him to get full-time at bats or full-time innings or whatever. So Lawler is interesting. I will say the only highlight I've seen so far is watching him take 6 steps. Like, basically, you guys remember the Paula Abdul hit 2 steps forward?
No.
Oh my gosh. Like one of the greatest ever videos, because it's Paula Abdul dancing with a cat. And they made this into like a big like Pepsi commercial or some.
Oh, I don't think
soda
you've seen
drink.
NSYNC perform then.
I think
You
you're
haven't seen the
talking
videos.
about the song "Opposites Attract."
Yes, there we go. Yes, that
There you
song.
go. The name is "Opposites Attract." That's where you might have gotten lost, Robbie.
Well, I sure am glad we've cleared that up. Jesus.
Yeah. But anyway,
Seriously, come on.
I heard
Second Ben.
the best video I've seen of Lawler so far is someone who decided to pull out that song underneath one of his tracks in the outfield to a ball. Because it was quite literally, he took 2 steps forward, then 1 step back, and then ran 2 steps forward, and then 1 step back, and then finally caught the stinking ball. And you're like, oh, yeah, this is what happens when you give an infielder a month to learn the outfield. And
Well, we're not
"There
going to
you
get
go, now
into
you're a
that
starter."
because if we get to Pittsburgh and talk about that, I think that's going to derail the rest of the show.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about Lawler because Arizona is just they put him on a yo-yo and they don't.
Oh,
I hate that watching a team do that because that nothing breaks somebody worse than being fucked with over and over and over and over again. Like,
yeah, you can't have a bad series and then try to figure it out with your professional major league coaches. You might end up getting a rest day when you don't need one, vice versa.
And I agree on the rest of them. So
just so we can cover every team tonight, we'll move on. Sam, you want the Dodgers?
Yeah, the Dodgers. Alex Freeland. He's on the roster. Alex Freeland. Okay, yeah. And then
Paula Abdul.
No, that
is everyone going to be a song, guys? I need to get my next team ready.
Maybe.
I'm just gonna say
it's Michael McDonald, some awesome 80s song that was there.
Oh, okay.
The title for it. Roki Sasaki technically is a rookie, is in the rotation. They will not say anything different. The Dodgers are all in all the time on Roki Sasaki. Don't be thinking about River Ryan. Don't be thinking about TJ Hushmanzada or anybody else that they may have. Like,
yeah, Bengals. That's what was Sasaki was the 300 million, right? He wasn't a cheap one.
No, he wasn't. That's Yamamoto.
No.
Oh, Yamamoto was the big money. What was Sasaki? Wasn't he a big dollar?
He still was eligible under the
the
Latin rule or the international rules. So he was
just a
very low
bonus.
priced, and they expected that he was going to likely get immediately a signing bonus or a new extension or something, and he did not warrant one. So right now he's playing on what he has warranted so far,
right, probably $770,000 American dollars.
Yeah.
But it is interesting. So yeah, he's in the rotation. I put as the note for now, just so that we could all wonder, because why not? We know there's a lot of dynasty guys out there who are incredibly nervous about the value of highly touted prospects like Sasaki who haven't performed. You don't have to do that with the Padres because they are on Friars. Okay, they have two bullpen arms. I'll just some of the jokes are for me. Bradley Rodriguez and righty David Morgan. Rodriguez has been noted as this could be, this could really hone in. Yeah, this could hone in. This could be maybe he'll have a Korn closing song like Miller does now. I love it
that is an awesome entrance.
It's great, and I want all 30 teams to do it, and then I wanted to eventually get to Baby Shark, so then they all stop and it goes to something else. But the Padres, from a rookie standpoint, nothing exciting now, but there's a couple guys up. So, and then we can close out the West with San Fran.
I'm just wanting Brian Head Welch to come out and start playing, as just like Edwin Diaz gets a trumpeter to come out. So I think they need to get members of Korn to come out and play. I'm just saying. The Giants, the last time the Giants were a stud system, one of their stud prospects was Luis Matos, and he joined fellow stud prospect at that time, Marco Luciano, on the DFA route now. So he is so long, farewell. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you.
Did he already sign somewhere?
I didn't know
signed today. He did today, and I honest to goodness, I forget off the top of my head where, and so somebody can let us
I'll
know.
Quickly have a look, because when I looked earlier, I definitely missed it.
So Jared Oliva is one guy that made the team, which made me giggle because I remember talking about how Jared Oliva was too old as a prospect when I was a full-time baseball writer, and that was half a decade ago. So it's kind of fun to see a guy come back and do that. Daniel Susak is the other one. That is a Rule 5 pick, and I believe the only positional Rule 5 pick that stuck. There are like 5 Rule 5 picks that stuck, and all the rest of them are bullpen guys. Or 4, something like that. Anyway, but Susak stuck as a backup catcher, and in all reality, really similar profile to Patrick Bailey. So it's kind of a nice fit, but basically that tells you stay away in fantasy.
Matos to the Brewers, and the Diamondbacks called up for Pavin Smith. Oh shoot, I just went past it. Who was it that they called up? Doug Nikhazy for Cleveland was DFA'd, and Diamondbacks called up Jose Fernandez.
Oh,
not that one.
no.
RIP. 22-year-old international signing out of Venezuela last year and climbed the minor league. I'm not going to read somebody else's work. So, yeah, there you go. There's one that we missed from the West because things are happening so fast. So let's go to the East. Sam, give us some Nationals.
Yeah, I wish there was any of them worth talking about.
Oh my God, be enthusiastic about these teams, guys. Look,
yay!
You keep getting the good ones. That's why.
It's the Nationals. They have Yorbit Vaz and Foster Griffin and PJ Poulin. I don't.
You remember Vivas once upon a time, the Dodger turned Yankee, where they're like, that's a good deal. And then I remember being like, when I was doing the research, I'm like, wait a second. When did he go to the Nationals? What the hell happened here?
Yeah,
like, I swear we said his name last year, Ben.
He's a prospect that's only good if he's wearing a Yankees or a Dodgers uniform.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's I mean,
or people only think he has value.
There you go. The Yankees are famous for inflating the value of players, and I don't know if that can be said of the Dodgers, but
100%.
They're known for suppressing their own players. We know that.
But as far as evaluators love their prospects just because they have Dodgers across the chest. So
yeah, and Andre Granillo is another arm that they've got in their system. Foster Griffin has not debuted yet. He may have today. I don't know.
Tonight. I believe
tonight. Okay.
Yep. I believe I setting fantasy rosters. He was the national starter against some of my hitters. So,
okay. Yep. So they're up. Nobody horribly of note at this moment. Moving to the Phillies, we were all excited that Justin Crawford got to debut, and he was pretty solid over the weekend. Andrew Painter, which I didn't think they were going to do that, but okay. He is up with them. And then they got a couple bullpen arms, lefty Kyle Bacchus and Jonathan Boland. I'm excited for Crawford, contact hitter who some dynasty people were not big fans of because they said he's just going to be a contact, empty average type guy. We'll see where the Phillies end up sticking him and if he can become a run guy.
I don't get that. He hits the ball hard. He just hits the ball hard on a low line drive ground ball trajectory. That doesn't mean he's not going to figure out 3 years from now and end up start putting up. I mean, the fun part is I think the best comp for what he could be is probably his dad. As far as, a 15 to 20 home run sort of guy, run like the Dickens, and also use that line drive to get a whole bunch of triples.
Love that.
But I think that's best case scenario. I don't think a likely scenario. I think he's a slapdick hitter that plays great defense, and in 2 years we're going to be wondering why he's platooning, and it's because he can't hit. I don't think he's gonna be a bat that we're going to be talking about in 2 years.
He has to be able to bring that bat speed and that bat power into game and use it somehow. It could be gap hitting, and that's perfect. If he is the next Christian Guzman, his slugging percentages weren't sexy, but that guy hit the ball hard and he always had 15, 20 triples. If you're doing something like that, using your speed, getting a crap ton of triples, and then plus he can actually steal bases. Guzman had an allergy to stealing a base, apparently. But that's a hell of a valuable player, but probably more valuable in real life baseball.
Right.
This is 100% not a points league guy.
For sure. And like you said, like he could be a 300, 350, 400 hitter. 750 OPS, steals 50 to 60 bases. It's like Jose Caballero plays every day for the Yankees, and in fantasy, he actually has value now that he plays all the time and has multiple positions. If Crawford's not going to be your utility guy, but if Crawford cements himself as an outfielder who plays all the time, if he can avoid platooning and hits well enough to steal more than like 20, 25 bases, he gets above 30 on a regular basis, I'll totally eat my words. But I think he's going to end up not having enough stick and not having enough average potentially to stick in that. The Phillies are a team that are on the brink. They spent a lot of money. They're heavily invested in this window that they have right now. Like, I worry about Crawford as a real player.
But I do like that they have the depth of lineup that he can come up and be a 9-hole hitter. And he can take his lumps at the bottom of the lineup. And then you get that kind of speed in front of the Schwarbers and Harpers and whatnot to piss off a pitcher.
Oh, it could go great. It
could be a great situation. So let's swing to the Mets, because this is actually kind of a sexy duo, at least. No dissing to Jared Young, but Jared Young
there's a trio. Like you can't ignore the Canadian guys. He's
like most
a Canadian.
Two of them have eyes for each other, and they're kind of ignoring the third.
Yeah, it is really, and the fun part is those two were college roommates. So I mean, you never know. Might be a whole it might be a whole HBO baseball series coming out here soon. Anyway, Carson Bench
did Road Trip.
Yeah, there we go. That's it.
Absolutely. I'm driving the short bus. That's me. I got it.
Right. So Carson Bench looks like he belongs. I'm not going to say he's a star. I'm not going to say he's crap. He's looking like a rookie who's getting his first. I mean, let's be honest. He had a month of Double-A time, and now he's in the majors. This is a guy who last year was his first time as a full-time hitter. So there are going to be some growing pains this year for sure. But already we've seen when he yaks into the power, it is easy power. Some of the pitch decisions aren't great, but that's something that's going to come. He's shown that at levels already. And then the defense is going to be solid enough that he can keep playing every day. That's a big thing. And there's also 20 steal speed here too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this could be by the end of the year, you're probably looking at a 250-ish 2020 guy. And that's pretty damn solid in fantasy ball right now.
He's absolutely 5-category contributor. And a lot of people in January and February were talking about Justin Crawford and the opportunity that he had with Philly. That March conversation that we were having was all about Carson Bench. He has really impressed me. I think that he could be a perennial 2020 hitter with not a bad average. And in that Mets lineup, if he's moves his way up to the lineup to 6, 7, he's going to have plenty of RBIs. Maybe not as many runs scored as we'd like, but that's a phenomenal lineup for him to be in and produce. So
and then the other major guy to note is Nolan McClain. I have very few shares of him, as much as I love him, just because people went freaking nuts after his Team USA time, and he started getting picked as like a SP2 in fantasy, and I thought, well, that's just stupid, because SP4 was really pushing my right now. There's going to be some stuff this year. He's going to run into some maybe rough weeks, because this is his second full year of pitching. These are guys that don't have a lot of experience being a full-time person in the role they're in, and they're doing it at the major league level. They're going to hit some stuff. But at the same time, the raw stuff, oh my gosh, is very fun to watch. When he's on, it's sexy to watch him pitch. This is a guy who has the type of stuff that you sit back and enjoy. And there's probably a few times you scare the shit out of your dog because you holler at it, holy, so that sort of thing.
Yep. Robbie, I want you to go next.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It's because somebody I'm sure who's near and dear to your heart probably was one of your neighbors.
I wish. Now we get to talk Marlins, baby. Owen Casey is up. He's got a ding-a-donga and a stolen base. 0 for 3 tonight here on Monday, March 30th. But we're cool with that because we're happy he's there and getting every day at bats. The surprise guy, I think, for me, maybe in the East altogether, is Davison De Los Santos. As far as why is he up? He's going to be third guy.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, I mean, well, I think it's because 2 years ago everyone's like, "Oh, look at this guy," and now we're getting it. This is like the Juan Yepes reincarnation right here. Of we saw this thing he had. Is it gone? Well, let's find out, and that's what Miami's going to do. And then when the time comes for some kind of a move, somebody's healthy, whatever, there will
Joe
be
Mack
a change.
becomes the catcher, and Augustine Ramirez finally moves to first base.
There you go.
Yeah, that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
there'll be something like that happens. And that does end the NL East because there is no one on Atlanta because they sent the diddler down for Martin Perez.
See Diddler Fuentes. No, Ben,
So-
take the Braves, man.
But I do want to say that Fuentes did have one 4-inning appearance, looked really solid, and I think that they realized that, hey, he looks a hell of a lot better than the shit that we're going to be putting in there in the 4 and 5 spots.
Excuse me,
Yeah,
Jose Suarez.
no, I mean it, because Jose Suarez
is
looks like
in the back of that.
Yes.
face.
I 100% mean what I said. The other news out of this weekend that affected this is that Spencer Strider was supposed to be tomorrow in the rotation, and he is going to miss that start, but it sounds like he very well could make the next rotation.
I don't understand why they just didn't stretch him out in the majors and have Jose Suarez.
Like
piggyback with him.
piggyback, yeah.
Like,
And Suarez is going to be the starter tomorrow. It sounds like they want to get him the opportunity to start tomorrow, and then to possibly be ready in the next rotation if Strider isn't able to come back, and he might be able to bump right back up and take that spot. And then you've potentially got Suarez behind him, or else if Suarez has been used in the bullpen sense, then you've got Perez to back him up as a long guy. I think that there is some sense to be made there. The issue is I just want to see him get regular innings, because man, that was electric. When you watch him in spring, you're like, well, yeah, but is he facing, Uncle Tom's, favorite? Okay, that was a wrong name to use.
Geez.
Uncle George's kid that they
We're talking about the
drafted
diddler, and you're like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm over here.
in the 19th round, and so
It's
he's
more awkward.
getting some time because they have everybody at the WBC, and so now that's who he's facing in his third inning of play. And so yeah, he's striking out everyone, but who is he really facing? No, he was doing this against a major league lineup, and a pretty solid major league lineup. The Royals have a pretty decent 1 through 9, and he was just kind of plowing right through that lineup. It was impressive to watch. He was using a split finger that he hadn't shown a lot. So if he has a 3-pitch mix where it's a fastball, slider, and then he adds in that split, that could work. That could be a starter. It'd be a 5 and dime starter, but it's a 5 and dime type of guy, but it's not you'll take it. So anyway, I'm
Quickly,
done.
boys.
There's my Braves talk.
Yeah,
So
that was so much on the Braves for an RPU got demoted. But hey,
to our Braves TED talk.
yeah, so we can quickly circle back between the Mariner talk early with Rayleigh and my recent love of Casey. Who would be more valuable to pick up? I think it's going to be league dependent. Rayleigh is probably multi-position eligible in most leagues right now. First base,
outfield.
left.
Mhm.
Yeah. And then if you're left, right, center, I believe it's right field that I have him in one league.
But is
Casey's-
Rayleigh going to break out of platoon at all this year?
I don't
Or is
think
he a
could.
strict platoon guy, Sam?
I don't think that he can break out a platoon. So I think the point is that if you were in a daily league or a league where you're able to adjust your rosters, Rayleigh's probably a better output in games that he's playing, but Casey's going to play every
More
day.
games. That's kind of where I was going with that. Is
Yeah.
If you're looking for volume, Casey might be the pickup. If you're looking
streaming.
if you have some streaming on your roster,
They're
that's
both-
probably it.
To answer the last question, they're both legit pickups. They're
Yeah,
both end of the
100%.
players. They're both,
Yeah.
if they're on your waiver wire, like find out, because they are definitely if they do their 75th, 80th, 90th percent results during the season, if they're the best versions of themselves, they're going to be far more valuable than just being on the end of your bench. They're both
Mhm.
they both have Luke Raley has some really interesting real time, and Owen Casey's been a prospect for a while of note. So
a former Cub.
Former
as we move and transition into the NL Central to the Cubs, they only have one on the roster right now, and that is Moises Ballesteros, who we have talked about at length. Let's give him a break this week and just say that we're excited to see the stat line over the next few weeks, and then we can dive in to discuss. And Sam, do you want to go to Cincinnati?
I think pitchers want to have Cincinnati's guy give them a break.
I do. Okay. We get to talk. I'm not as excited about the last pitchers, Connor Phillips and Jose Franco. I think there could be some fun there, but how can you not just stare at Sal Stewart and Chase Burns? Cincinnati has got some really fun names with them. Sal Stewart seems to be the real deal. He came up and has just been swinging all weekend. Bat swinging everywhere that he can. I don't have his stats pulled up in front of me, but I know
8 for 12 with 1 home run, 2 runs, 3 runs, nuts? 2 RBIs, 5 walks, only 1 strikeout.
Yeah, he is just putting it on, and so he is fun. I think that Spencer Steer is definitely not going to have a chance to be the starting first baseman there ever again. And then we've got Chase Burns, who, man, how many people picked Chase Burns to be the breakout pitcher of the year, the pitcher that was going to lead your league, the pitcher that we don't know what he's doing during spring training, the pitcher that does he have a position? Is he in the rotate? He's in the rotate. Is he really? Like, are they going to let him pitch? So I'm hopeful that Chase Burns is healthy and gets opportunity to pitch all year, because he's
electric.
Yeah, I mean, there's even in that bandbox in Cincinnati, even in that hitter's park, it's like, I don't think the stuff he's got, I don't think it matters.
Yeah, he's going to give up home runs no matter the park, just because of the stuff he has.
Right.
So that is what it is. But the way he's been pitching, they're going to be a lot of solo shots, which for a guy with that kind of stuff, to keep guys off a base outside of those home runs, that's impressive.
Yes. Yeah.
Just like Milwaukee is impressive, right, Ben?
Oh, sure. Jefferson Carroll was one of the first call-ups for Milwaukee after Andrew Vaughn got hurt.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Carroll was brought up to be the backup catcher because they are going to play Gabby Sanchez at first, right? Yeah.
Which is weird, because when
Gary
Colorado
Sanchez.
Yeah, when Colorado had an injury, they brought up a catcher, and they said, well, you can get at bats too. But Milwaukee is like, you know what? Let's put our other catcher, move him over. And I believe Sanchez has a bomb too. So, but anyway.
And then Brandon Lockridge, this is good story, but a 4th, 5th outfielder.
Yeah.
But Milwaukee plays their 4th, 5th outfielders. They play their outfield pretty deep. So he'll get some playing time. He'll get 250 at bats this year if he stays up the whole year for sure.
And they have 5 outfielders to play because Yelich is going to be DH pretty much all season.
Yeah.
So.
And if he can do what he's been doing, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because Yelich he had a good weekend.
Yeah.
So I'm all for that.
Oh, this doesn't hurt your back to not play the outfield. We'll just leave you in the batter's box. It's fine with us.
Yeah,
exactly. Seems like you're quite valuable here. So St. Louis looking for valuable players. They've got JJ Weatherholt leading off. They've got Nathan Church, 4th outfielder, and they've got a pen guy in Matt Puchard. Weatherholt, we all know, is fun and exciting, and I'm glad he's up, and they didn't do any weird stuff where they put somebody else in the role for a little while. Nathan Church, I don't know if there are 250 at-bats for him. St. Louis tends to move guys around as well.
Well, with Newt Bar out right now, he's getting almost platoon time right now. So
yes.
Yeah, and I guess it's a matter of how I'm performance-based from this moment forward, maybe.
Yeah.
If he can show he fits, they'll find a way to carve him out. So, and then I don't know anything about Puchard other than he is rookie eligible and made the club. So there we are with that. And then Ben, you can go with the Connor Griffin Pittsburgh Pirates. Oh wait, he's not there.
But Billy Cook is.
Yeah, baby. A year late.
Yeah.
A year late for Billy Cook.
Billy Cook and Nick York and those guys were really exciting 3 years ago. And then Bubba Chandler is really exciting now, but Nolan McLean comments apply here as well, that rookie going through major leagues. Yes, I understand he was up for a little bit last year. There's going to be some ups and downs. That sort of stuff takes a little time. Hunter Barco to me is really interesting in the pen because this is the type of guy whose stuff could play up in the pen because of the goofy arm angle he has. And if he can locate, this could be, they moved Carmen Majewski into the rotation. That's the type of role that I think Barco could play in their bullpen, is that every now and then he throws a 3 innings or gives you 3 innings, but he can come in and set down the side as well. He can put down 3 strikeouts in an inning, but no, I think it's going to be fun. It'll be interesting when Jared Jones comes back, how they start to figure out this rotation and all that. But I think we still have a couple of months for that before we need to worry about it. So,
yeah. Do we want to have a break here and then hit the AL, or do we rock or roll through this?
Let me find something and we can do that.
All right. So we will hit our ad break for those of you who are wondering why I am delaying.
Thank
Man, that's Grant Hill. Grant Hill drinks Sprite? Grant Hill drinks Sprite.
If you want to make it to the NBA, practice. If you want a refreshing drink, obey your thirst. Sprite.
I love it.
Yeah, that's a high quality one. Okay, so now we're on to Robbie, your Toronto Blue Jays, your Canadian team, the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yeah, that's right. The local product. Here, I'm going to delay 9 more seconds so we can get it to 52 minutes on the schnoz because the boss loves it. And action. And so the Toronto Blue Jays, they've got 2 guys up. One's an actual rookie. One's a technical rookie, Kazuma Okamoto, who looks like he can hang, fellas.
Yeah.
Looking good on all fronts, offense, defense, at third base, holding it down. And then one of those fun Rule 5 picks that we like to talk about in December, Spencer Miles from San Francisco. This is a guy with I think it's under 20 professional innings on the arm, but he does have 1 big league win, which he got in extra innings.
He's got the stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is the reason why the Rule 5 is fun when the players are kept, because you can be like, look at the talent of this guy who otherwise would have just been buried within this organization. And now he's getting picked up off waivers in all the deep dynasty leagues because nobody rostered him before the weekend.
Well, and not to make poor Joe Lowry upset, but if he was still in the Giants system, that he'd be being misused and abused and not developed well. So,
yeah, well, it could be like Bryce Eldridge, where like you can pitch and hit. You know what? Let's get you to hit, and then we'll block you with a guy who's got an 8-year contract left from another organization. We'll find a way. So anyway, yeah, those are the 2 dudes. They had a great, fun, exciting series this weekend against the A's, and now they're taking on my Rockies, and I don't know how it's going to go. An 0-3 powerhouse Rockies against a hapless 3-0 Blue Jays. We will see how this one goes. But Sam, we've got an exciting one. Brace yourselves, people. Let's get to the Red Sox.
Yeah, I don't even know this dude.
No, neither do I. Ryan Watson.
He's a righty. He's 28 years old. His mom loves him.
Yeah. And we're happy that he's up. That's really fun.
Actually,
good for him.
Yeah.
His high school coach also says he's a hell of a guy. So
there we go.
I'm also going to do.
That was unfair to just get one. So take those Orioles.
Going back and forth in Cincinnati. I keep being like, I'm going to no. Give me Boston. You guys are terrible. We have 2 more names on a team that I really have no interest in. Anthony Nunez and Yeramel Geraldo. So if you guys have anything fun to say about them, you can. But in spite of Adley Rutschman being their starting catcher, they have decided to keep Samuel Basayo on their roster as backup catcher, DH, and just all around big bat pimping. Like I said it earlier, you can never have too much Sam, and he proves the point. I don't really know what else to say. Like everybody already knows Samuel Basayo, and he's going to do Samuel Basayo things this year. So, you have anything?
I only heard a pipeline person use the comparison that I had in the spring that people told me I was nuts for saying, but I said that he reminds me a lot of Carlos Delgado in the box, but from the other, and so I was told that I was an idiot for that, and then that was putting way too much onto the poor kid, that yada, yada, yada. And then that's the exact comparison that somebody gave on a pipeline podcast here this last week. So made me feel a little smarter.
That's a big praise. Carlos Delgado wasn't a nobody.
No.
Yeah.
He was a beast.
Ryan Watson, just to let you, he was a 39th round pick, 2016 draft by the Dodgers, who then went to Auburn instead. So he spurned the Dodgers to go to Auburn, bet on himself, and that didn't work out so well. Was an undrafted free agent in 21 with Baltimore, then went to the Giants back, and now he's with the Red Sox. So there we go.
Okay. I thought Anthony Nunez may have been Juan Nunez, who was a former Rule 5 pick that was picked last year, went to San Diego, was hurt, ended up coming back. It's not. Those are different people. And then Yaramil Geraldo. I
just love that first name. That's all. We need more Yaramils in the world.
The fact I was able to pronounce it was.
I was actually quite impressed. I was waiting to hear that. So there we go. Good job.
Thank you. Ben, would you like the Yankees? I would like them to burn in hell. So why don't you go ahead?
Wow.
There.
I'm just pulling up who they have. He's not a Rule 5, is he?
I don't remember. I apologize. I was trying to pinch the Rule 5 dudes, but I snuck a little bit of this in during the lunch
all the
break.
way. I was going to say, this is a Cardinals prospect that they got.
Yankees don't follow no rules.
8th round, U Texas Arlington, but he was a guy who got up to AA last year, and I actually looked at him a little bit toward the end of the season because he was looking really good in AA in 8 starts, but he's working out of the pen for the Yankees, and that's kind of interesting. I don't know what his role is. He has not pitched yet this year, so
right, maybe he's a play it up kind of guy, right? You put him in the pen, it'll tick up.
Yeah.
So, Sam, I don't want any more of this AL. Why don't you take on the Rays? They actually have a guy, 2 guys, maybe. What do you guys think?
Well, they've got another catching prospect that we're never really going to find out anything about. Hunter Fiducia. You guys might be interested in him. Anytime the Rays have a catcher, I just ignore him. And then they've got Harrison Williams at shortstop, who is fun.
Sexy with the glove.
Yeah, fun in the field for sure. But I don't know how much stick we're going to get out of him. So for fantasy, I'm not interested, and I'm also not I don't follow the Rays, so like meh.
Hey, Robbie.
Carson Williams, yay.
Robbie, do you know who the Rays had to trade away? Well, they didn't have to trade all these guys away, but who the Rays, the deal that was involved in order to get Fiducia to Tampa Bay. Do you remember that trade?
No.
That is the one that put Adam Serwinowski in with the Dodgers and Paul Gervais, who's the
3-team deal with the Reds.
Yes, with the Reds.
Okay.
And I'm trying to find the Red side of it, and for some reason,
so this is how Gavin Lux ended up. He was the throw-in.
I think so, but that's not the side I'm finding.
That came up, right?
Because it ended up being a 3-way deal that ended up being 2 trades. They just
okay, that's how it ended up.
They changed it, and so that's what I'm trying to pull up here. But I think that is no, because Lux was Sirota.
Oh, okay.
That was last year. Of course, then now Lux is with Tampa. But yeah, so just an interesting little deal. And I know that there was a third part of that deal because Serwinowski was a Reds prospect.
Yep.
And so I don't remember how that deal, who the other pieces were. But anyway, that's interesting.
That's Tampa's got 2. Let's move to the Central. It's not boring. It's Kevin McGonigal with the Tigers is up, but I'm concerned about his role and the pen. They've got Drew Anderson, who all offseason people were excited that he was going to be a sneaky guy as a starter for them coming back from KBO, wherever it was. And then, of course, Detroit wasn't going to let that happen. He's depth for them, and he's in the bullpen. Mm-hmm. But what are you guys thinking here, McGonigal? Because I don't know that we have every day at bats, or is this just a matter of time thing?
I mean, he's gotten them so far. That's the thing is
he's not overwhelmed. He seems like he's doing it, and with the shine that he has, you have to believe that at any moment it's going to come together, and he's going to go from being an everyday player to an elite player. Like I'm still in on him.
I'm blown away how not overwhelmed he's been.
Right.
And I think that that's a really good sign going forward. I always thought kind of this year was going to be, I've told folks that anyone who thought that he was going to come up and be a 30 home run guy is nuts. Anyone who thought that he was going to be a Dustin Pedroia type was nuts. That was way too much doubles and home run power to me. I said, if you want to get on the low end of a Carlos Baerga, that's maybe like his upside over the next couple of years. And then I think there's ceiling from there, but he's going to take a couple of years. He's never not hit for average. And that is the thing that is really impressive so far. I think it'll take a bit. The guy has the ability to jack his swing. We saw that a lot in Arizona. I think he had about the most intentionally jacked swing in Arizona of any prospect compared to what I had seen of them regular season. He was finishing like with the uppercut to where he was, tapping the back of his upper butt cheek because of he was swinging it so hard and at such an uppercut force. But now he's not doing that. He's back to his previous swing, and it looks good. It's just that there's a time when he is one of those guys that to me is an old school in that he has an A and a B swing.
Okay.
And I think he could be a guy that usually has his typical swing and then has his, I know a freaking fastball is coming. I'm dialing it in. And if that fastball is there, it's going to land 450 feet away from here. So, because he has the raw power for that, but it's just not part of his day-to-day game. So.
Cool. Sam, you're loving it. You said he's getting playing time. So all sales rise, something.
Obviously I'm not any kind of crystal ball reader, but he's not doing anything at the beginning of the season that makes you wonder if he's going to be sticking around. And that kid needs you need consistent playing time. That's how we know. That's how you develop. And I think he's going to get it. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do. I don't think he's going to be a bust. Like Ben said, he might only be like middle of the pack for a couple years while he figures some things out. But that's middle of the pack with a lot of upside.
Yeah.
So,
and on a competitive team, as opposed to some of the other prospects who are on yet to be determined teams like Cleveland. Sam, would you like to give us some Cleveland Guardians?
Poor Sam.
Yeah, no, so I said earlier, I watched a lot of Major League Baseball. I watched every Mariners game this weekend, and Chase DeLauder was unreal. That pitch.
How'd that go anyway?
Well, Chase DeLauder pretty much shit on the entire Seattle city skyline. Like he was just dropping bombs left and right, man.
They basically needed to do the what is it? Who was the manager of the Diamondbacks that would constantly walk Bonds back in the day?
Yeah, they needed to stop.
But that's what they needed to do.
Don't let him beat
Give
Don't
him the
let the
4
rookie
every time.
beat you.
Yeah. Isn't that crazy? But that's the way he was hitting.
He was absolutely the man of the moment. Like I was starting to say, like the pitch he hit one out on Munoz, who the ball was 96, 97 off the plate, high. Like it's not a pitch that you catch up to. It was a
pitcher's pitch.
Yeah, it's that's the pitch you make to get him to swing at a bad fucking pitch, and he just parked it. So like Chase DeLauder, if that man can stay healthy, is fun. He was fun to just watch. The exact opposite was CJ Kafis. There were a couple balls in the outfield that I saw him track that I was just like, oh man, wait, that's a hit. The only hit that Cal Raleigh got was him misplaying a ball. Like I'm just CJ Kafis. It definitely was. It was painfully obvious between him and DeLauder because leading up into that first game, they were. I'll never forgive our broadcasters. Yeah, this Cleveland team doesn't have a lot of pop.
Why would you say that?
Oh man, just killed me. The other name on the rundown is Peyton Pillette, who his family was there. It was a nice little moment. He came in and he pitched well. His
Rule 5 guy.
Yeah, his family was cheering for him up in the stands. There's like 15 or 20 of them, and so it was a nice family moment. And I couldn't hate him for And
this is a guy who was a stud prospect, then had Tommy John.
Yes.
Only fell to the second round, even with Tommy John, but just has never gotten everything back after Tommy John, unfortunately. Like he was a guy who had 3 to 4 pitches, and he's never gotten the snap back on his breakers the same way.
And I love that Cleveland got him, right? It's great.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's great that Cleveland got him, and they're the team that, like, what can they do with this guy? And if there's more in the tank, they're the organization, in my mind, that will get it out of them.
So 2 out of those 3 names, I'm going to be really interested. And in saves holds leagues, Peyton Pallett if you're in a deep one, he might be somebody to consider.
He could step up by the end of the year. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah. He's definitely, if he pitches like he did this weekend, he's going to be in the A trunk of relieving for Cleveland. The ones that lead up to the closer and saves. So
certainly. Does anybody want KC, or should I knock it out of the way real quick, Lack?
Well, I got to watch all of this all weekend.
Give it to us.
Carter Jensen looked like you kind of expected. There's going to be some swing and miss. He's a lot more comfortable at the plate when he is catching. It is a real interesting thing to watch him. He swung at a lot of balls out of the zone when he was DHing. But I do not understand major league managers sometimes when you have a Carter Jensen and you have a Jack Caglione, even going up and you're going up against a right-handed pitcher. Why are they not both in the lineup somehow? And they weren't. And that's just stupid. So they figured that out on Sunday, and it went well for them. It's just crazy. But I think he is going to learn a lot from Salvador Perez. Behind the plate. So it was great to see every break as they came back on the Kansas City station. You watched them come back, and it was Sal talking in the ear of Carter Jensen over on the bench. And that's exactly what you want to see.
For sure.
And I think that offensively, there's probably a lot of similarity there as far as what Jensen's upside could be. Is very similar to what Sal has given us.
Well, and Sal's probably like, hey, I used to really work with the pitchers, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to hit home runs instead.
Yeah.
Because I through fantasy baseball, I saw the transition and really hated it because he went from being somebody you were super excited about to I no longer like Sal Perez because I used to think he was excellent for KC in the pitching. And when the Brady Singer crop came in, all of a sudden his power went up and his ability to make pitchers better kind of went down in my eyes. And that was 5 years ago now, something like that, when I feel like he went for the offense. So, but we've got some White Sox, and I know Sam loves him some White Sox. Now, I'm going to let you do it, but you got to do me proud when you get to the Canuck, okay? So tell us about the White Sox, Sam.
Oh man, I'm gonna be such a disappointment. So Munetaka Murakami, I'm really excited about him. Tim McLeod, who does great work with players coming over from Japan and Korea, had some really nice things to say about him. There's people that are worried about his strikeout rates and about his ability to catch up with velocity, and I think he showed, at least for the first few days, that's probably more overrated than actual fact. Had a good weekend hitting the ball, and I think the White Sox have a really interesting lineup. It's hard to call them a dark horse lineup, but they're interesting.
They're definitely a hit and miss lineup, though.
For sure.
There's going to be games where they strike out 15 and
tons
no hitters,
tons of swing and miss in that, and also just
update for tonight, guys. Sorry, Sam. They've put 9 on the board against the Marlins.
Yes, and that's just the thing.
What did Murakami?
I don't know that there's a lot in the middle.
I'm just trying to pull up his line really quickly here. 1 for 5, no walkie, 1 strikeout.
Okay.
So this is his down game, mind you. He still has, a hit within that and a run.
That's right. So I'm going to be leaning on both you guys, evidently, for 2 names, because the other one is out of the pen, Grant Taylor. He is, I believe, somebody who they're keeping in the pen, and his goal is 100 innings pitched this year. I think they're going to stretch him out as a starter again next year. I think that's their plans. I like Grant Taylor. I think he's fun. I think that he's
fun. Yeah,
for sure. And I think that he actually should be a bullpen arm for them long term, but I'm not. Who am I to argue with the Chicago White Sox? It's such a well-run organization. They make great decisions all the time.
I'm worried that
watch the love. Yeah,
they are
I have Grant Taylor.
Yeah, I think that they are going. They're talking 100 Ks guaranteed. Well, maybe this year, but then I have a bad feeling it's going to be very similar to Mike Vasile and what happened there, because that was the goal with him, is to have him pitch 100 innings in the bullpen, which he did. Well, I don't know if he got quite to 100, but look, I got a lot of innings pitching out of the bullpen. And then they were going to make him start this year, and his elbow popped. And
I'm shocked. I'd say.
Yeah, and I don't know. We'll see. I'm just worried because it's fun. Taylor's got such fun stuff.
Yeah. So Ben, talk to us about the Rule 5 guy, and Robbie. I'm not going to be able to give you the love about Tristan Peters like you're.
Come on, he's Canadian, baby.
That's all I know. I'd be like, yeah, I've got Canadian bacon, Tristan Peters, man.
I struggle with deciphering the difference offensively between him and the guy from the Twins we're going to talk about first. So, they're kind of about the same thing, and they're both named Tristan. But Jedrickson Paez is the Rule 5 guy for the White Sox. This was one of those guys that a lot of folks didn't think was going to get picked in the Rule 5 simply because he had, I don't know if he had any innings above high A. But he is very electric raw stuff. And so apparently the White Sox like him enough to at least bring him with them to start the season. Might not make it out of May, but at least he'll get a chance to start and see what he has.
Yeah, and I mean, at least with Chicago, there's such chaos going on in that bullpen. And really, it's one of the things that's fun about that lineup is there's so much. There's been such turnover. There's he could be fun. He could be fun. He could be electricity in a bottle for some people.
Realistically, these are the kind of teams where you can find, little stars and studs like this. And sometimes they're streamers for a few weeks, and sometimes they're future bullpen, long-term bullpen pieces for you in dynasty leagues, or just guys in redraft that you're constantly keeping an eye on the progression and then the depth chart and where are they moving. Like, what was it? Jordan Leisure is one of the guys with the White Sox, as Taylor is this year. Paez could be one of them too. Tristan Peters could have opportunity. He's a lefty outfielder with the White Sox this year. I don't know what the best case scenario is. Obviously, it's everyday playing time, but that's not the plan for him because they've got their outfield set with what they'd like it to be permanently. Him as a backup is going to work well. And if anyone's struggling and they got platoons or splits that they're looking for, Peters should get some solid opportunities here. But let's finish this one off with, I don't know, Ben, you tell me, is it exciting, boring? What are we thinking about with the Twins?
There's one exciting and the rest boring. And Tristan Gray is just kind of a whatever. As far as a utility guy, he takes up space. They hope he's as good as Kyle Farmer was.
Okay.
That's really kind of what they're trying to replace there. Eric Orz and Zach Kent are two ready guys right now, and they probably have higher upside guys that are a lot more fun that are in AA and AAA right now, but they just weren't quite there yet. So it would probably change very soon. Mick Abel, there are a lot of folks coming out of this first weekend talking all about Taj Bradley, and I encourage you to look at the underlying numbers because Mick Abel and Taj Bradley had very similar starts. They had very different results. The way that they like their pitch quality, all that sort of stuff. Mick's just happened to get hit, and he had a lot of 50-50 balls go against him, and Taj had a lot of 50-50 balls go his way, and neither one of them was great. They were both kind of what I expected was going to be a high strikeout 4.10 ERA with a 125 to 140 whip, right in that range. High variance type of arm, and that's what Mick was that first start. I think he got a lot of his start to his spring training got a lot of attention, but this is a guy, he still has a lot of flaws as far as being a long-term starter, but it looks like the Twins are going to use him in a piggyback role where he is going to consistently be getting 4 innings. And now I'm blanking on who he's piggybacking with, but anyway, he's going to be in a piggyback role where they are both expected to go 3 to 4 innings. So
I'll find that name here. But yeah, in the meantime, we can move right into our final division tonight, the AL West. And I know there was some amongst the chat people here talking before about Carter Ballmer with Texas being a potential
fun
future
moment, really fun moment.
Yeah, being a future closer. But he middle of the bullpen. I don't know what kind of duties he'll be getting here. But
you said duty.
Yeah, I was totally yes, he did.
Oh my goodness. Oh, good thing we're on that last division, guys. I don't know what else to tell you, but looks like this is definitely the wait and see where he is deployed as far as how excited we want to get about him. And we can skip, I guess, the Mariners and then get right into the Angels. Or Sam, would you like a moment?
Well, I mean, you guys have on the rundown, you've got Cole Young and Cole Wilcox. Cole Wilcox finally has made his debut. He pitched, I believe, an inning this weekend against Cleveland. Was pretty good. Nothing really stood out about that.
Bailey Ober 4 innings, Abel 3 1/3. That's what happened Sunday.
Yeah, there you go. The Ober Abel.
Sorry, Sam.
No, that's fine. You have Cole Young, and I've been a broken record for anybody that's talked to me in this preseason and now into the beginning of the season that I'm a Cole Young believer. Cole Young has as many hits for the Mariners as Naylor, Rodriguez, and Cal Raleigh combined.
Yeah.
And Cole Young's not necessarily knocking the ball off. It's been it was a rough weekend for him. The real offensive powerhouses have been Brendan Donovan, Randy Arozarena, and Luke Raley. They're the ones that are really driving the offense. Dominic Canzone also.
Sam, I do want to add on Young because you know that I love Young, and I know you do, and you watched him more this weekend. over the spring, he had made some obvious physical adjustments. There's definitely some added muscle to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's changed his swing a little. I mean, not crazy, but with the added muscle and the little bit of swing change, you saw 470 odd foot balls. But there was a whole lot of swing and miss in this weekend from him. What is this going to be? He's got kind of a swing for the fences sort of swing now, and that's going to be an issue to think of going forward, or it's just first weekend. You got to see him. I honestly have not watched much, if any. Actually, I think I've seen like an at bat of Cole's from the weekend. So
Cleveland came in and had a good game plan against the Mariners, and we as a lineup have been prone to strikeouts. That's kind of why we got Brendan Donovan to come in. Cole Young struck out 7 times this weekend. Rodriguez and Rayleigh each struck out 6 times. Rivas struck out 5 times. Raleigh
is crazy for Rivas.
10. Yeah, Raleigh struck out 10 times this weekend, and so I think that it's yes, there was some swing and miss to Cole Young's team. There was some swing and miss up and down the Mariners lineup this weekend, and that's definitely it's hard to say what it is. It was the first 4 games. That's why I said at the beginning, like, I want to see 16 games in, 10% of the season. Like, where do I feel like they're at? I'll tell you what I did see from Cole Young. Cole Young didn't take any frustration from any of those strikeouts back to the dugout. He did not take you could tell like he wasn't frustrated. He didn't argue. You didn't see it translate anywhere on the field when he was playing defense. Like, he was focused. He was in on every play. He was there to make the right play. And so I'm excited. I don't know what to tell you about. Is he going to be swing and miss? And did he give some of his hit tool away for power? I sure as shit hope not. That's not a lineup that you need to worry about home runs. They hit a ton of home runs as a club, and
it's a good park for that line drive approach to work.
Get on base, hit double, like Brendan Donovan, get on base, hit doubles. And home runs are great. Like, chicks dig the long ball. I dig the long ball. I love watching Mariners hit home runs. So it's not like I'm trying to hate on a power game, but no, I don't think he's done that yet. And I hope as we watch the next couple weeks of baseball, I hope that we see that it's really for him. It's this constant approach to always wanting to make hard contact. Not that he's swinging for the fences. And I think there's a difference to that, right? I think that there are some people that sell out for power, and I think there's some people that look to just consistently punish the baseball. And I think that's what he's doing.
Certainly. And like you said, we'll see where we're sitting after 15 games with this high K club. Now, I did lead off earlier tonight, Ben, saying that when we got around to the Angels, I had to change my off-season comments where I said how much I liked what they were doing and putting a bunch of veterans around to let the prospects develop. And the two prospects that they've got in their lineup, one, Ryan Johnson, starting allegedly because of injury, got his tits lit tonight. Not pretty. And I've only
usually isn't.
No, I've only on mute watched a little bit of it, and it just looks like spots missed and balls teed up. And the other one is Sam Bachman, who's a former first-round pick who's been up and hurt and things. And I'm not sure how I feel about that one either, because they put in so many veterans in their bullpen this year that I thought that they're going to take from the 6th on, and it's just going to be mop-up duty guys otherwise. I don't know if they think Bachman is one of those 7th inning guys, or they'd like him to become, and they want him to absorb the knowledge, or how that would go about with the Angels. But yeah, Johnson, I don't like that they did this, because after they sent him down last year, and if anyone's forgetting who he was drafted, did not play in the minors, debuted last year and was taboo last year, and then got sent down to A-ball, where he eventually started to look good again. And now here we are again in March, seeing him go up. This is why you sign a Lucas Giolito to a 1 year. What can you do? This is why you sign anyone. Giolito's first name that came to mind, when you have Grayson Rodriguez and other possibly not healthy starting pitcher, or you're thin and Johnson's your SP 6-7 guy. Instead of doing that, you give it to anyone else. That's how Jose Suarez ends up still with a starting job in Atlanta, and then you get to see what they do with it. Doing this to Johnson, I hate. I absolutely hate that they did this to him. It's not a kudos to you. It's a Caden Dana, same deal. You didn't feed him to the Wolves, but you're doing it with. I mean, you did once or twice. Now you're doing the same thing with Johnson. Why?
Yep, and that's it's frustrating to say the least.
Well, you're the Angels. That's what you do,
and that sucks because that's
no matter
they've
who's
started to do.
Or...
they've started to do some. I won't say. I don't want to go so far as to say smart things, but better things in the minor leagues as far as spending money on things that most people were spending money on in 1999.
Sorry, I thought that said "Give me back my money." I thought it was a clip that said "Give me back my money," and you said "money," and I'm like, I'm gonna press a button, and now I won't do it again. I won't do it again.
See, this is what happens. I go to try and hit applause, and I get a gong sound instead.
I can't, which worked out to be both somewhat racist and also comical. Anyway, any more thoughts on the Angels before we finish this off?
Save my son from the Angels if he ever gets drafted by Save my son.
Yeah.
Okay. Who wants Houston, boys?
Well, I will say Bryce Matthews, if he was ever to get full-time run,
Why call him up, right? Why call him up?
220 and 20 and 20, but unfortunately, they're not giving him full-time run, which means he's likely going to hit less than 220 with a ton of strikeouts. And because he's not getting the opportunity to give you the 20 homers, 20 steals, he's not going to show enough to stick up there. It's just something the Astros do. Drives me bonkers.
It just,
Amai had a nice first start and then forgot how to put a ball over the plate and got tattooed eventually. That was the issue. But he went a few innings where it looked pretty good and then just could not locate. And then eventually that caught up to him. AJ Blue Balls, he's up and I like his role. He's especially with this team, there's going to be plenty of innings. You have guys like Lance McCullers who are attempting to pitch again. And so you're going to have opportunity to get innings as a long guy. And then Ryan Weiss, I don't know. I guess I don't have a whole lot. Robbie, do you have anything on Weiss that sticks out? I mean,
there was nothing.
He's kind of a guy to me.
Yeah. Yeah. He's there and there's no defined role. So he's your whatever mop-uppy type dude.
Jesus. The Nationals are going to give Foster Griffin a win tonight though.
Oh, nice. Okay, let's finish it off strong, Sam. Hit us up with a big club. Last year, they had some guys who didn't start but ended up finishing. Kurtz, who now has 1 hit, I believe, in 4 games. But who do they have this year? And give us a full breakdown on every single player. Do not skip over any. Oh, wait, there's just one.
I will give you the rundown. Okay. Luis Morales is a pitcher for the Sacramento Athletics that pitches in a AA ballpark, and I wish him all the best this season. I don't know if there's anything to be done for you, good sir. Godspeed. May the odds ever be in your favor.
Yeah, dynamite breakdown.
Thank you. Thank you.
You mentioned Miles, and Spencer Miles gave up 3 runs in an inning and 2/3 tonight. So yeah,
did he? Yeah. So the dream is dead.
Gave a dinger donger up. So
so they got this is the Blue Jays, of course, who had Cody Ponce get hurt second inning, and then Luis Varland came in. The Rockies put up a 7 spot. I think it was the 7th inning. So very exciting. Kyle Karros, everybody. Kyle Karros, MV Karros. But tonight, who's pitching here for? Is it? Oh shoot! I thought tonight was Morales pitching. It's Lopez who's pitching.
No,
for
Lopez was
Yates.
pitching.
Oh shoot! I thought we were going to be able to give a line on him. Anyway.
Carson Bench got his 2nd steal of the season tonight, so that's solid.
Let's go, Carson Bench.
Oh, and just because I tried to downplay him, frickin' Jacob Young ended up with a double in the game. So, he's like, fuck you, I'm important too. So, yeah,
There we go. Okay, so we're going to keep it under 90 minutes because we're profesh. So next week we're going to have a topic and we're going to discuss it. And it'll be something to do with minor leaguers because that's what the Prospect Power Hour does. Probably like the stats we've seen so far for hitters because, Ben, as we discussed last year, we got to give pitchers more time to throw some innings, get them a few starts. So maybe it'll just be some more in-depth guys who have started off hot, unless Sam's got a better idea.
I mean, we could sit around and have a conversation about the Mariners. We could just live stream the game, and
we're just going to sit around and talk about hot
There's
guys.
so many people
that
I think that live stream games.
People would tune in to listen to, guys with beards talking about hot guys. I mean, let's, come on, here you go.
If Govier hears this, we're screwed, guys.
It's just like seriously, like the OnlyFans conversation just
yeah, that's why we're gonna end it. So,
hey, we'll get lots of tips.
On behalf of myself, Sam, and Ben, who I'm ignoring, I'm close to muting them both.
Peace and love, everybody.
Yeah, peace and love is the Sam, and Ben says he likes them young. Is that? Oh, sorry, likes Delman young. And we've got a Discord. You should join it. Love, peace, hair.
Carlos Delgado.
Excellent choice. Too bad I got him 3 rounds ago.
You're still on the clock.
Oh, shit!
You gotta do something. We need a name.
Hideki Matsui.
You just took my whole outfield.
Sorry, Charlie.
What is this?
Debbie.
What the fuck is this?
It's our fantasy baseball draft. We said no wives.
Your fantasy what?
It's our draft. The fantasy baseball. I told you all about this. Got Matsui.